Hello and welcome to Sullivan's Farm. We're going to have just a bit of a roundup in this video because the off-farm job has been fairly busy there the last fortnight, and I haven't had the farm days. Usually I do 3 days a week at the off-farm job and 2 days a week then say full-time farming. But the off-farm job has been busy the last fortnight, so I've kind of been in there 5 days a week. So I haven't had a chance to do much out around the yard or out with the cattle or anything like that. So a bit of a roundup. In theory, the off-farm job is great because there's a steady, regular income there, and it's nice to do a bit of farming as well. But the reality is that it's very hard to find the balance sometimes. But look, we'll drive on as we are. So we'll go out and we'll see the cattle first. The cattle have just left this paddock here, this half a paddock. It's split in two with the wire and the reels. Very handy job. They were into here this morning, so nice cover on that. They'll get a couple of days there, and then they will come over into the other side of that permanent division down the middle of the field there. So it runs, I need to tighten up the wire a bit, runs down the middle of this paddock in the near knock, and there's a gap down at the bottom, so they'll just go straight out there, and I'll pull the wire across. The stakes are there already, up into this one next, and then off out into the far off knock after that. I wasn't sure if there was going to be enough grass in the far off knock to let them out there, or if they would have had to have gone back up to the well field and some of the paddocks up around there. But I'm surprised. It's cold and there's an east wind that'll cut you, but growth's okay. Growth's tipping along nicely, so they're going out there next, and that means then we can also pick out another couple of paddocks up in the well field for silage. I know grass is going okay because I went out for a look at it now, but I've also just been doing a grass walk. I don't always use the sward stick, but I brought it with me this time just to sort of calibrate the eye again. I haven't done it in probably a month or 6 weeks at this stage. Very simple operation, just in case anybody's interested. Just a board like that, I don't know what they're called. Leave that down, press it down a little bit, and then just put the sword stick beside it. Gives you a sense. Now I don't think that's 14 or 1500 as the sword stick is saying there, but it gives me some sense of what grass is there, and it kind of recalibrates the eye as well. So I'll do that in a few places, and then I'll put the sword stick and this little board away for another month or 6 weeks until I need to calibrate the eye again or see where we're at. So overall, growth is going okay. We'll pick out. After saying we'd look at the cattle, I forgot to look at the cattle then. I started talking about grass and all that boring stuff instead. So we'll go down and have a look at the cattle now. Try not to disturb them. I don't like disturbing them when they're relaxed and lying down. They're doing fairly well. You wouldn't tell the difference. Like that little dairy cross. Now she'd pass for a proper Frisian, but she's not. She'd nearly pass for the same age, even though she's nearly 12 months older than that Belgian blue heifer. But what do they say? An ounce of breeding is worth a ton of feed. Now, in fairness to that little one, she wasn't bred for beef. She never was. But anyway, these things happen. A few more of them. They're all happy lying down. Plenty of clover in the sward here as well. We put extra clover in this when it was reseeded 2 years ago, after there was fodder rape on this, and then we reseeded it the following year. So it's nice, plenty of clover in it. The odd dock nettle appearing here and there now, but not too bad. The stretch. It's a nice bullock. And that's kind of it. They're just cattle. They're doing fairly well. Try and keep the grass right ahead of them. We'll have one quick look at one I was cribbing about there a few months ago and saying, oh, she's shook and she's coughing and she's this and she's that. That little cemental heifer. But she's come around. She's never going to break the scales or anything like that. She'll do her own thing. I'm happy enough with her. Again, we'll try not to disturb her, but sure, look, you're on camera, missus. Stand up and give us a look at you. She's come around an awful lot. As I said, never going to break the scales. She's not going to be put in calf or anything like that. But considering what end I had in mind for her there a few months ago, I'm delighted with her. So we'll drive on at that. There's the speckled park one again. She still never took to eating the cubes, but maybe a couple of months' time, when we get into the autumn time again, she might pick him then, depending on the appetite and the grass and all that kind of thing. So go on, missus, give us a look at you. Ah, big stretch. You'll do all right. Fairness. There's a kind of a nice shape coming on her now. You'll do all right. And you will too, I suppose, won't you? The size of you. Go on. Wait till we see you from behind. What are you doing? Happy enough with him too. Good man. Another crossbred that had nearly passed for a Frisian heifer. Again, I thought she was skinny and miserable, and she was skinny and miserable inside in the shed all winter, but a bit of grass, a bit of fresh air, and she'll be a P grade whenever she goes, but at the same time there's some kind of a cover coming on her anyway. Seeing as we're walking past, I'll show you what is really delivering the cash, keeping the show on the road with the annual premium. The last couple of years, it's grown well, planted in 2015. Again, just because we're passing it, I'll show you this. This is where they were 2 nights ago. You can see the regrowth coming back, and the sward is nice and open too. And I hope that'll help the clover to come through as well over the next weeks and months. I finished the grass walk now, and this is what the wedge looks like. I don't take much notice of it, to be honest. I like doing the walk around. It gives me a sense of how much grass is there and how much isn't there, and that'll do me. For anyone interested, the farm cover is 951 and the growth is an average of 50 and the days ahead are 31. So I'm being a good boy, reporting all my Teagasc figures. As I said, it's been a funny 2 weeks. I've been in the office almost every day, so I didn't get a chance to do much. One thing I did do when that funding proposal was submitted this morning was to come over and just start doing a bit of cleaning out. Tis a kind of a mental cleansing thing as much as that else. So that's kind of the sick pain. Hopefully that's done and dusted for this year. Same on this side, it's just a bit of tidying out. And again, there's more dung up there from where the calves were when it was snowing that time. It's kind of reminded me again that you don't need to spend an absolute fortune on calf housing or dedicated housing, but you do need to be well set up, and I'm not really well set up for calves. And then I guess that got me thinking of what a neighbour of mine said a couple of weeks ago, like rearing calves is one of the hardest jobs on any farm. So I threw the measuring tape around the rest of the calves as well after the last video, and suffice to say, I'll be whisking milk for a while yet. One last thing before we go. There was an online discussion there some night during the week on boards. I think if you're not on the Farming and Forestry Forum on boards, tis well worth checking out. But there was a discussion about meat quality and how what you get in the supermarket, say as sirloin, can be all over the place. Like some weeks you'll get maybe a 20-month-old whitehead heifer as sirloin, and then the week after, sirloin under the same brand and the same marketing and the same packaging could be from a 30-month-old Holstein cross bullock, with all due respect to Holstein cross bullocks. So in my head at least, I've made a commitment to buy all our meat for the house from 2 local butchers here in Kilmac in County Waterford, from either Joe Riley or from Tom Halloran. So I'd encourage others to do the same. So that's it. Grass, cattle and calves. And where you buy your meat, beef in particular. I'm going to go in, feed the calves now. It's Friday evening, and hopefully, sure, we might have an old can of the queer stuff or a glass of the queer stuff with dinner or whatever's going in the house when we go back there now in a half an hour. So thanks a million for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Mind yourselves.